Hey there guys, it's Elise B. Hager and I'm going to show you another tutorial again today. It's going to be merging a few pictures together. So, I have a recommendation. When you see this video, maximize it, and there's going to be like a little number that says like 360 or something like that. Click that and boost up the quality to the highest quality so that you can actually see everything properly in what I'm doing. So, once again, the website that I'm using is Pixlr.com, which I already have it opened. So I'm going to open Image Editor. Open an image from your computer. So I'm going to show you how to merge a few pictures together, like I did for one of my pictures for a story that I'm doing for Pandora Lupin. So it's kind of a sneak peek, I guess. So I'm going to open this picture, and basically this is what your end product is going to somewhat look like. Okay, so let's exit this, and I'm going to open the images that I need. So let me hear where, no, I don't want that one. Silly file, and doesn't like me, it doesn't want to open. Okay, get that picture, and I can find it. Like some pictures like to, there it is. Okay, so for your background image, you want to open two images, because you know what, of the same images, of the same background, because you know what, it's kind of just a pain to crop it, then bring that layer over to the other side, then just crop another, then uncrop it, and it's going to be like a long, complicated story. So before I confuse you too much, I'm going to open that same picture, but in this picture, I'm going to maximize okay, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to click the background, so make sure you have this selected, and click the background image, click and drag it over here. Now, before I should have done that, I should have just cropped everything that I needed. So I'm going to click my crop tool, and I'm just going to go all the way to Professor McGonagall. Oh, hold on a second. Just going to bring the image to its full view so I know what I'm cropping. What? Apparently my computer doesn't like me today. And it doesn't like me. Okay. So yeah, then we have our crop tool selected, and we're just going to crop right above McGonagall's legs and just over to McGonagall. But you know what, we're not going to worry about her because it's just going to be cropped out of the image anyway. Enter, and there we go. So make sure you have your background copy selected. It says background copy. So double click that, and we're going to name it Snape's head. Okay. You go over to your selection tool over here, and now you have it selected. You can drag it and place it wherever you want. So now I'm kind of comfortable with this spot right here. So doing Control T, which basically is a free transform, and if you don't want to play with the proportions like I'm kind of doing right here, you're just going to do Control T and hold Shift, and click Shift and hold it, and then you can resize your image. And enter when you're done. Now I'm going to fade this picture. So see, the brush I have is a bit small, so you're just going to bring your mouse over here and you're going to select a larger brush, so it makes it bigger. Okay, so we're just gonna, oh, and one thing I also forgot is you're gonna come over here, bring down to your opacity about 50 or below, so it fades it quite nicely. Oh, I'm getting messages, probably from some fans on Wattpad. So I'm just gonna quickly erase that. Hold on a second, I'm just gonna answer those messages, so pardon my randomness. now back to me doing the image. I'm sorry for the inconvenience about there, but I have this really awesome fan, and she's just totally makes my day. Like, she's just that awesome. Okay, so we're just gonna fade out the edges. Oh, not too much. You don't want to fade your image too much. You want to still be able to see him. Okay, so you're gonna click your background image, and you're gonna go to Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast. You're gonna darken it a bit, but then you're also gonna raise your contrast so it kind of has that cool look. Okay. You're also gonna just raise, whoops, make sure you have your proper layer selected, and you're just going to, I'm gonna leave that because it looks kind of cool. I'm just gonna move the image over a bit. That looks fine to me, doesn't it? So, just erase that bit again. Okay. Now, we're going to add the layer of Victor and Hermione dancing. So we're just going to simply drag it over. Control T, Shift, hold Shift while you're resizing your image and placing it to where you want it to be. We'll put that about there. Second thing I want to do is you're going to take your brush, make sure it's one of the softer edge ones, and you're going to just erase the unneeded parts. You know, if need be, you can just kind of do a kind of a cool faded effect and just lightly have the end brush over the tip of his cloak and whatnot, and just kind of erase that out. Looks kind of cool, eh? So I'm going to quickly erase this out as well. And try not to get too close to the image because you don't want the whole image blurred. I'm going to fade out a bit of Hermione's dress, which in this case would be Pandora for Move Story. And there we go. So that's done. That's just for, not the major details, but that's just there. And I'm just going to actually, oh, it's a bit too big of a brush for that to do that, so I'm just going to get a smaller brush and do that later. So I'm going to bring down my brush size to a bit smaller than what I had. And I'm going to do the finer details, just getting around Crumb's head so that it doesn't fade it too much, too horribly. Same with Hermione's. So with a smaller brush, I'm just going to try and, just no matter if it's too faded. Oh, whatever. I'm also going to minimize that brush size again. Fade just the edges a bit. And same with in between the legs. But for the most part, if it looks good, you can just leave it the way it is. And I'm just doing this quickly. I'm not taking my time, and it's what you should do on your first try. Just take your time, try to get everything right. This is just a quick tutorial and show you how I do things. And you're also going to have a smaller brush. We're going to go right in between Hermione and Victor and erase some parts. And you want to get the smaller the brush, really the better, so that it doesn't make any mistakes. So you just take your time doing this. Don't rush like I do at some point. Okay, so there you have it. There's a little, it's a bit off, but there you go. There's a small example, but since, you know what, kind of faded, looks kind of boring compared to your background, so what you're going to do is you're just going to go back to Adjustments and click your Brightness and Contrast. So you're actually going to raise your brightness just a little bit, not too much, along with your contrast so that picture really pops out. And yeah, these pictures aren't the best. Like, the larger the picture that you have, and depending where you're cropping it, the better it will look. Like, you can see how I crop Snape, and his picture doesn't look that good, does it? I don't like to think so. So back to Snape's head, and I'm just gonna erase just that small bit, kind of shining a bit. As you can see, it's like, oh wow, I wish I could be dancing with her, kind of thing. Okay. So, there you have it. And we're also going to add a small touch, would be text. So the one I used would be, scroll down, take a while, hopefully not, past it, and I'm going to use Edwardian script, and go right down, young love, wonderful. And I'm going to make this a white. I'm also going to make this a lot bigger so you can actually read it. I'm also going to put quotation marks since I'll be quoting Dumbledore. I'm going to make it just a bit bigger. Move it over. Make sure you have extra spaces for some of the fonts because they can be quite annoying at times. And so you know what? That's what your final product's going to look like, and see if it looks anything like the picture that I did as a final copy. You know what? It's pretty close. Just Snape's head is a bit bigger, and Hermione and Krum are just a little bit off. Like, I didn't do the correction enough, but you know what? It looks pretty good, don't you think? So yeah, that's going to be your final product, and you know what? Thanks for watching. Hope that this video and tutorial was a lot of help. In the next video, I will be showing you how to you know what, just take two pictures without merging them together and just running captions on them. It's fairly simple. I don't even use this website for the most part, for the main part. So yeah, I hope this was quite useful to you. Thanks.